Hey y'all, it's your boy Davion. Welcome to another episode of Consciouztv. You guys already know what we're here to discuss. Before we get into it, make sure you rate, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Hit all when you do. You guys know you can also donate to the show at my Cash App, which is $Consciouztv. You can also PayPal me at paypal.me/Consciouztv. And you can email me at consciouztv@gmail.com. I respond to all emails. Now let's get into it. First and foremost, I want to thank all of you guys who checked out my previous video about Malik Yoba and Jendaya speaking about homosexuality and kind of defending and showing their love and support for the trans community. You guys know that on Consciouztv's platform, we don't just roast, we don't just gag, we don't just do the secular commentating. We also get into some real discussions. There's a real information basis on my channel. 95% of my time I spend watching documentaries, reading books. Spirituality consumes the majority of my day. I'm in a constant state of prayer and just kind of flexing my spiritual giftings and being more perceptive and intuitive. You guys know I roll with a lot of metaphysical people, from witches to prophets to witch doctors and voodoo priests, and I have everybody in my circle. I have a very deep appreciation for spiritual things because I am aware that I am a consciousness, that I am an aspect of God in a flesh puppet known as a body. And I am wanting and always had a desire to be in balance to my spiritual nature, because man cannot live off bread alone. So for a lot of people, the material world is enough, but for me, it's not enough to just be human. It's not enough to just make money. It's not enough to just be beautiful. It's not enough to just, have some type of popularity or fame. It's not enough to be in relationships. Like, I have to actually edify myself spiritually, and I have to have that time with that non-physical part of myself, because that's when I feel the most healthiest and that's when I feel the most connected. So I really appreciate all of you guys who follow me, who are not only interested in the shits and the giggles, but who are really here to contribute in a meaningful way to more meaningful dialogue, like the discussions around society, around race, around religion, around our differences and our diversities and adversities as a human species on this planet. So shout out to all of you guys who are really balanced and who really show support for all of the various genres of content that I bring to my channel, because I always want my channel to encompass a healthy balance of kind of like light and entertainment. I'll say, I was gonna say darkness, but laughing and kikiing is not necessarily darkness. So light and entertainment. Now I had to spend some time thinking about the way that I even wanted to have this conversation, because you guys know, those of you who follow me are aware that I don't play any games when it comes to verbally sparring with anyone. My mouth is a weapon of mass destruction. That's partially, really primarily due to the fact that I am a very creative and artistic person. So it means that my shade and my reading skills are always kind of going to be on a more advanced level, because I am not just reading out of my spirit, I'm reading creatively. So I have a way of bringing things together in a read or in a dragging that normally other people wouldn't think to bring into a dragging, just because of my creative nature. And I am aware of how powerful and how much responsibility has to come with being endowed with so much power. So I am somebody who doesn't spend a lot of my time being combative and being argumentative. One of the reasons why you guys have seen me stay out of YouTube beef is because I didn't want to drag the living shit out of people. I just don't want to do it. I do it with entertainers because entertainers are entertainers. They kind of are there to kind of be spoken about. They're there to garner our attention. They're there to be critiqued. They're also there to be made fun of. A part of them showing up as entertainers in the world is to entertain us. And so we use them to laugh at. We use them to be inspired by. We use entertainers as a catalyst to experience all various different parts of ourselves, and to have various different types of discussions, because I've heard people speak about Cardi B in both a secular way and a spiritual way. I've heard people speak about Beyonce in a very secular way and also in a very spiritual way. So, you know, these celebrities have a multifaceted purpose in our lives. So I tend to kind of direct more of my comedic ability and my shading toward them, because I feel like, for one, they're removed from it. They probably won't ever even see my content. And, you know, I feel like if I was to really drag a real life person, someone who is not necessarily protected, someone who is not protected by a heavy schedule, they're not protected by touring, they're not protected by a large following where it probably lessens the odds of them ever encountering my content. But if I drag a regular smuggler person, there's an added chance that they will run into my commentary, and I really don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I really don't want to break anybody's heart. I really don't want to trigger anybody up and have them go and kill themselves, because the shit that can come out of my mouth can drive you to suicide. Hell, you just simply fucking with me because I am an anointed person altogether can cost you your life. I mean, it happens. So, you know, for that, I really have tried to keep it cute, and for the most part, I'm very proud of myself because I haven't gotten into any tiffs, and I really don't want any now. So, to make a long story extremely short, Armand Wiggins did a video that I was made aware of by a very amazing young woman who I am subscribed to. The name of her channel is called the LiveWLiyahShow. Wonderful individual. She does secular commentary like myself, and she also does spiritual content like myself as well. She does tarot readings. She's always given advice about how to develop yourself spiritually, how to cleanse yourself, how to cleanse your energy. She has two separate channels, one dedicated to spirituality, also one dedicated to her secular content. I'll leave links to both of her channels in the description box below. Leela did commentary on Armand Wiggins as it relates to his situation with T.S. Madison, because you guys know that Armand Wiggins chose to take it upon himself to speak to the public, the YouTube public, the social media public, about his tiffs with T.S. Madison. He made his feelings public. He made that situation public. Nobody asked him for his opinion. Nobody asked him to share his personal experience with T.S. Madison. These were commentaries he gave all on his own for public viewing. And since we all are YouTubers, some of those things became content for some of us YouTubers. Now, I want to go on record and say this for one. Armand Wiggins is completely irrelevant to me. The only reason he has showed up as content on my platform 3 or 4 different times is because he's associated with someone who I actually am a fan of and who I am about to work with, because you guys know I am booked to do this Queen Supreme's court, so I would be pulling around in that chair alongside Madison. We're going to get into that as well. A lot of the things that happens around Madison, like her beef with Kaya, her beef with ATLien, and now the situation with Armand, it's because of her that I've been put in proximity to these people. I did not follow Kaya before the Queen's Court. I did not know anything about Michelle Brown and ATLien before the situation with Madison in the Queen's Court and Kaya, and Armand Wiggins, the same thing. I had no idea about him until this whole situation with the beef between him and her, and him getting his channel shut down. Because if you look on my channel, you will see that he never showed up as content up until his channel got deleted. So I have not been a fan. I wasn't even really aware of this boy prior to this, so he's just to a means to an end in terms of commentary. I'm really here for Madison, and he just happens to be featured, you know, in this beef with her. So it's just by default I've had to look at him, and I've been looking into his sentiments toward Maddie, etc., because Armand Wiggins isn't the only one who knows Madison. A lot of us know Madison. A lot of us have worked with Madison. A lot of us are working with Madison. So we're all using our own personal experience of her to kind of understand why somebody like him would feel the way that he does, because that hasn't been the majority of people's experience with Madison. So it's always very interesting to me when people try to paint Madison as a bad person. But I did go check the video out. I ironically had went right on to Leela's platform last night and no more than being there for a whole minute. She was like, yeah, he threw shade at me and he threw shade at Consciouztv. I didn't even see the little boy's video at that point in time, so I was just listening to her commentary. And I decided that I didn't want to even look at the video until today, because I wasn't just gonna let him have my good night. And I didn't want to dedicate any of my energy, not even my petty residual energy that I could have given away, because the cup overfloweth with petty energy. I didn't even think he was worthy of my petty energy. So I decided to just keep my night clean and enjoy myself. And I woke up today, a beautiful Monday. I'm having my bathroom renovated, so a bitch is really in a good fucking mood, because I've been making some renovations to my home over the past 2 years. So I just love the way that my home is coming along, etc. So I want to check out the video. Now let me tell y'all guys this, okay? Let me just tell y'all guys this. There's a reason why I don't beef with bitches who send subliminal messages, because the whole video, as Leela said, it was sent with subs, and bitch, I ain't Jared. So if you really want the smoke, bitch, you can get it. You can get it. We can get it. We can get it. Crack-a-lackin' girl. Just say my name, because all the people who you throwing subs at said your name. Your name is up there in lights, girl. Your name is up there. It's totally up there. You know, in, you know, the title, you know, like your picture, your thumbnail is like really up there. So you're throwing subs at people who had the balls to call you directly to the carpet. So I don't respect the bitch who has to send subs at all. And he claimed that he didn't want to say names in his video because he pretty much didn't want to give the haters, you know, any clout and any attention. But you already are, because you addressing the nameless named folk in the room is just going to make you content, girl. And you know, those of us who are going to speak on it are just going to continue to bank the numbers off of it. So you're really not doing yourself, you know, any justice by not saying our fucking names. And this isn't even about your haters. The gag is you are actually really threatened by smaller content creators, which is why you had a problem saying some of our names, because you don't want to make some of your demographic, you don't want to make them aware of our existence, because you actually see the talent there is. Because see, I noticed that you had no problem saying Justin J's name. You had no problem saying the King of Reed's name, because you wanted to use his name as clout, because he has a bigger following than you. So it was okay, and it makes sense, you know, to you in business to say his name, but you didn't want to say the smaller content creator's name, while saying that you didn't want to give any of the haters any clout. See, I see how full of shit you are, because unlike a lot of people who do commentary on you, you know, I pay very close attention, and that's why I feel like you probably had the biggest issue with my video and Leela's video, because as she stated so eloquently, you can lie to a lot of motherfuckers, including yourself, but who the fuck you cannot lie to is spiritual people. We see through that ass like a Windex window. You can't get anything past spiritual individuals. So I understand why in particularly you felt completely slighted or felt some sort of kind of way about our commentary. Now when I watched Leela's commentary on our situation with T.S. Madison, it was very obvious that Leela sent that video with the utmost of constructive criticism. It was clear that Leela was not a hater. It was clear that she was just making observations. It was clear that she was just stating what she was seeing, and that she was just trying to drop gems on him so that, you know, he can straighten up, he can erect his posture, and he can get on about himself. Because, you know, she also included a lot of compliments. Now, I will say this about my commentary. I haven't necessarily complimented Armand, because I don't know the bitch. I don't know fucking Armand. I didn't know him prior to his situation with Madison. So there was nothing good for me to say. What can I say about a hoe I don't know? I don't know you, girl. What I do know is what you put out about T.S. Madison, who I am a fan of. Outside of that, I would have never came across your content. So you came up because of my algorithm. I have so much content on T.S. Madison. I review so much of the fucking show that anybody who has her name in their title is going to come up as a recommendation in my motherfucking newsfeed, in my motherfucking channel feed. So I could press the gas, right? Because a lot of YouTubers would have pressed the gas. A lot of YouTubers are looking for the clout chasing. They're looking for the beef. They're looking for all the heat, all the smoke. That's not me. Armand has said enough subliminal things for me to be able to extrapolate and project myself into what he said, I could then turn around and press the gas and roast his motherfucking braces into oblivion if that's what I wanted to do, because he said enough to insinuate that maybe he might be talking about me. I mean, the thing about sending subliminals is that when you don't call people by name, you're pretty much calling everyone to the stand. So people really do in fact have a right to then rebuttal and to rebuke and to combat, because if you haven't called the whole by their name and specify who you're talking about, it can be logically assumed you're talking about every fucking body, okay? But because I'm not invested in you outside of your T.S. Madison, you know, quarrel, I really don't give a fuck about the sublims. I think that that's a really punk ass bitch type of move, for one. And also, I'm not going to give you the liberty of having me take your subliminals personal and then me turning around and pressing the gas on your ass so that you can turn around and say, but I'm not talking about you, I'm not talking about him, I never called him by name. A hit dog hollers. See, when people are sending subliminals, that's what they want, the added luxury of doing. They want the upper hand in the situation by gaslighting you. They gaslight you by low-key shading you, hoping that you will be then triggered to have a public outburst, and then they can turn around and revision the narrative and say that, oh, this bitch is crazy, or this bitch is insecure, or this bitch is just reaching because I never said his or her name. So I already know what game you're playing, so I'm not going to press the gas just yet. I'm going to wait till you say my name, say my name. Yeah, I'm going to wait on that, because when you do, that's when I'll be in the hallway, Pam. Shanae will be in the hallway, Pam, waiting for their ass, girl. Dookie braids wrapped up in a ponytail, door knockers, you know, put in the back pocket, girl. You know, I'll be there waiting, Pam. I will be there waiting, Pam. But see, I know that you won't call my name, because that's what a man does. And I did give you the benefit of a doubt when I clicked on to the video this morning. I said, okay, this man is going to call me by my name. You know, if he's talking about me, you know, he's going to call me by name for sure, because this is the king that we're talking about here. This is a real ass nigga who we talking about here. This nigga can rock with Joe Budden. You know, he can sit with Charlemagne. He can sit at the table with the best of the niggas. So, you know, this nigga gonna say my name. That nigga ain't said my name. He ain't said nothing close to my name. You know, I'm not even sure if he was even really talking about me really at all, because I don't know about Leela, but you know, I follow the ghetto Section 8 side of YouTube, and a lot of them also produced a lot of content about Armand Wiggins as well. A lot of the gay boys produced commentary, you know, and a lot of the black female bloggers produced a lot of commentary about Armand Wiggins regarding, you know, T.S. Madison, whose fan base is made up of a lot of black women and gay men. So there's a lot of, you know, gay men in wigs and makeup who are YouTubers. So I really wasn't sure which part of myself that I was supposed to necessarily take personally. And even with Leela, you know, I'm not sure if Leela is even aware of this, but there's a YouTuber by the name of Wiley. His show is called The Wiley Show on YouTube. Him and Armand used to do collaborations, you know, way back in the day. And when Armand Wiggins' channel got deleted, Wiley, who was subscribed to me and I subscribed to him back, he was doing commentary on the Armand Wiggins channel being deleted situation, and he kind of went into a backstory about him and Armand's history. They used to be friends, etc. And I noticed that Wiley, while he was critiquing Armand, he was also giving Armand a lot of compliments as well. And Wiley has also openly stated that, you know, he wants to have a successful growing channel like Armand, because he's, you know, proud of Armand, and he wants to get his setup similar to Armand, and he wants to have the professional setup and all of this. You know, he showed a lot of admiration toward Armand while also, you know, critiquing Armand. So I feel like even with the stuff that Leela feels is about her, it's possible that those subliminals could have been toward Wiley and not really toward Leela. But see, that's what you get into when you're sending subliminals. But he also knows Armand knows what he's doing by sending subliminals. He knows that the bullets, you know, are going to randomly hit everybody. And if the person sees themselves in the shade being thrown, he knows that 9 times out of 10 that then, you know, there's going to be a response, and he's honestly looking for that response because a part of him likes the fucking attention he's getting, because attention whores love even negative attention. So, but I'm not gonna press the gas. You guys know how I get when I press the gas. When he called my name, bitch, it will be on. Trust and believe. Consciouztv will not let you down, baby. There will be no treading lightly. There will be no motherfucking subliminals. I am going to press the gas, and all 18 wheels on the 18-wheeler will make contact. They will make contact. Oh yes, God, they will. Now let's address some of the things that Armand said in his video, because I really didn't want to make this motherfucking video long, and I'm just sitting here ranting and rambling. Now Armand Wiggins said in his video called Triggered that you must be doing something right, you know, if you're being talked about, you know, that you ain't doing something unless motherfuckers are talking about you. So he must be doing something right. You know, I don't really know why you narcissistic, arrogant, some of my mama bitches always have to talk about or interpret people talking about y'all as I must be doing something right. No, girl, you also could be making the news because, bitch, you're completely fucking wrong. I mean, is Donald Trump doing something right because Democrats are talking about him? Because blacks are talking about him? Because immigrants are talking about him? Because the marginalized is talking about him? Because the LGBT is talking about him? Huh? Is Donald Trump doing something right? Because I'm sure that Donald Trump would have the same sentiment that, you know, he's the talk of the town, and he's always being thrashed and trashed because he's doing something right. No, girl, you're trash. That's why you're being talked about. You're trash. That's really what it is. You know, I guess Tasha K must have been doing something right too when you had her name all up in your motherfucking mouth talking about, you know, her being a fucked up person and her constantly producing fake news and creating false facts in order to, you know, have content for the day. So I guess when you was dragging Tasha K, that Tasha K had to be doing something right because you was press. Tasha don't need no press. And yet there you was, being pressed, slandering another bitch because she done dropped you like a bad habit, like another bitch, T.S. Madison, who done dropped you like a bad habit. You claimed also in your video to not be biased, but it's so funny that a lot of these black women, including trans black women, you ironically had so much negative to say after you wasn't able to milk them anymore of their resources, after they removed, you know, their crayon case off the motherfucking table. You then had something to say, you know, after they took back their grits, biscuits, salmon, eggs, and bacon, and half a cup of orange juice from the table, that you then went into this bias, you know, slanderous shit. I've noticed a very interesting pattern with you, girl. I've noticed, you know, and you did the same thing to Wiley as well. Wiley said that you'd been dragging his ass, you know, after y'all friendship ending. So it's just something about you and your inability to maintain friendships. And, you know, girl, from now on, I'm just gonna call you Tasha Wiggins. I'm not even gonna refer to your ass as Armand Wiggins. From now on, bitch, you are Tasha Wiggins. So another thing that Tasha Wiggins said is that people are jealous of her. Now, homie, jealous of what? You have nothing happening for yourself aside from a YouTube channel. You know, Leela felt like you was throwing subliminals at her, and I was telling her he can't possibly be saying you are jealous of him because you've done the Breakfast Club, and all this bitch has done is breakfast. That's all this bitch has done. So there's no way, Leela, he could be talking about you, girl. There's just no way, because he's talking about people and sending subliminals to people that have and had the very same things that he want. He mentioned Charlemagne and Joe Budden. Leela has been in those spaces. So is that why you're pressed? And if you're sending subliminals at Consciouztv, Consciouztv is booked for the Queen Supreme's court. So is that why you're pressed? It seems that everybody who you're sending subliminals to, ironically, have the seats and occupying the seats that you so desperately desire. So I understand your frustration. I understand why me and Leela's content might have struck you personally, girl. But when anointed people go to speak, I mean, those bullets are going to fly. And the heart is going to flutter. Because spiritual people don't speak from a place of just shade. They don't speak from a place of just criticism. Spiritual people speak heart-wrenching, revelatory truths. There's a resonance and a particular vibration that comes when spiritual people go to critique anything. Even when they're being shady, bitch, the shade is shrouded in heart-wrenching, heart-fluttering truths. So if anybody is jealous, it might actually be just, in fact, you. Because I can't see one thing that you remotely have that is worth anybody being particularly jealous of. Like, not jealous. So, it'll be nothing to build my channel off of trash news. I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing. You know, I do that shit when I'm in the mood to. I do that shit when I'm feeling it. But I'm not invested like you are. You know, you live for that synthetic ass world of Hollywood. You live for that synthetic ass world of the industry. I don't. That industry is a means to an end for me. And what that means is that I don't mind having opportunity through accessing that industry, but those opportunities and the resources that come from those opportunities, the money, the visibility, the growth that comes from that industry, I'm going to be using to fuel my spiritual purpose. Because a bitch like me, I want to write books, and I want to teach, and I want to hold seminars. I want to travel the world, and I want to teach people about how to connect to the divine within. I want to teach people about the secrets of the kingdom. I want to teach people how to develop intimate relationship to God. I want to teach people how to manifest miracles in their life. And God works in mysterious ways, so I know that I have a particular calling and gift that will sit me before great men and great women in this industry, which is why T.S. Madison has booked me for the Queen Supreme's court, which is why I've been able to collab with anybody I want to collab with, and it's also why my commentary has been enjoyable and is well received by my audience, and why so many of those celebrities are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Even when I was doing the review for Iyanla Fix My Life, Iyanla, her team, a lot of the individuals who went on to the show all subscribed to Conscious Television. So I don't have to be at 14K in order to have visibility and in order to have respect and to have opportunity extended to me, because you got 61K and you still can't come down in Maddie's basement. So I mean, you just got to make it make sense, girl. Now Tasha Wiggins also says that nobody celebrates the good things that he does. Well, I feel like that job is particularly for your actual supporters. For those of us who are looking at you from a distance, we're not necessarily supporters, so it just doesn't make any goddamn logical sense for us to go out of our way celebrating you. I'm not really sure what the fuck we'd be celebrating. There are no laws being changed by you. There's no marches being organized by you. There's nothing meaningful happening in the world because Armand Wiggins. So I'm not really sure what the fuck you actually want us to be celebrating. I'm not sure what you would like me to remotely celebrate. I'm happy that you're happy. Like, if you're happy being Armand Wiggins and you're happy with the Armand Wiggins show and you're happy with you know, being in this industry, and this industry feels like home to you, you know, Lucifer's industry feels like home to you, then, you know, I'm happy that you're happy. So I actually am really happy for you, you know. But in terms of what I would go out of my way to give you your personal props on, I mean, for me, I'm just not naturally led. You know, at best, I'm happy that you're happy, girl, but that's really a job for your supporters. You know, a lot of us haven't even talked about you outside of the Maddie situation because we weren't fans to begin with. We aren't people that are following your fucking career. I don't know what fucking video you have uploaded since the goddamn Queen's Court because I don't know you, girl. I don't follow you, girl. You are only interesting to me because you are attached to Matty, girl. Yes. You know? Now, you also was talking about people's looks, you know, saying that some of these people, the way that they look. Girl, I don't know if you've actually checked the comment section, but I don't think that you are a girl who can be talking about the looks of other girls as well, girl. Because have you seen the things that people have said about your looks, baby? Now, you know, I really wouldn't go there about the looks as it relates to anybody's looks, baby, because... yeah, because girl, there just wasn't no way in the entirety of hell that you was remotely coming for my looks. So I mean, that part of your commentary certainly, you know, with 100% of it didn't even feel relevant to me, and damn sure not when it came to the looks department, girl, because I'm a beautiful kind of bitch, girl. You know, it's a flat stomach and a big fat pussy beneath, you know, this motherfucking stomach, girl. Like you better ask somebody how long my bundles are, bitch. It's just, you know, that's just what it is, girl. You know, I am made by Jesus and not by Dr. Miami. So I am very much in touch with everything that is. And, you know, I just think that a bitch who has a whole motherfucking train track going across his grill should be the last girl who's talking about the looks of anybody. I mean, when your mouth is under construction, I would think that that would disqualify you completely from even mentioning, you know, other people's looks, or for even insinuating that you could play, you know, a judge on America's Next Top Model. Do you want to be on top, girl? Because right now, you got Amtrak on top of that parking lot you have for a mouth, girl. So I'm just really would completely listen, Tasha Wiggins, completely, are you listening? Okay, completely away from the looks conversation, okay? The looks, stay away, like, go to the post office, get your passport, get on a plane, Spirit preferably, go completely away, like over the Atlantic Ocean, okay? Just go all the way away from the conversation about looks. Just all the way, girl. Completely, like all the way. Move way away from the looks conversation. Okay. And last but not least, this potential beef with Armand, it wouldn't even be interesting to me because I don't consider Armand a reader. I don't consider him to be a roaster and gagger. One of the things that I like about Kaya and why I will come for Kaya is because I feel like she's one of the only bitches who can probably go toe to toe with me successfully. She can hold her own. And when I go to engage with people verbally, you know, when things have to get gutta and get ratchet, I like to actually get my money's worth out of the beef, and I just wouldn't feel like I would enjoy myself. I would be bored going back and forth with this bitch because he's way too easy to go back and forth with. He's very triggered, he's very emotional, he's very impulsive, he has no self-control, he's very underdeveloped, the right side of his brain is incomplete, so it just wouldn't be any fun, you know. When I go to tear a bitch up, I want a bitch to be able to boomerang that shit back to me in such a way, girl, that that my face has to hit the floor. You know, I would feel like I'm bullying this dude if I was to press the gas, because I don't even feel that he's that type of a nigga that can even match me in that way. So you know, it just wouldn't be no fun. Like, I am very, very specific when it comes to beef. I'm very specific when it comes to who I engage in a verbal sparring with, because I know that I have a upper hand because I'm gifted in the area of shading and reading. That's just a gift of mine. I mean, I'm gay. This is one of the weapons that God has given to a lot of gay men, especially a lot of you know, spiritually aware gay men. You know, our shade is really a weapon of mass fucking destruction. So, you know, every creature has to have its weapon of defense. You know, scorpions have their tails, bees have their stingers, you know, mosquitoes have their stingers, you know, cats have their fangs and their claws, you know, birds have their beaks, sharks have their teeth. Every living thing has its natural built-in defense mechanism, and God gave gay people shade. So I do that well, coupled with the fact that I'm creative, coupled with the fact that I'm artistic and spiritual. My shade is always going to be on university levels. So I don't, and I'm very responsible with my mutant powers. I can't just be optic blasting bitches, you know, just for any old reason. You know, I need a hoe to really be qualified for the optimal use of my mutant abilities. My lasting sentiments is, I have no lasting sentiments. I was underwhelmed. This video was filled with contradiction. I don't claim how, you know, I don't understand how people who claim they're not pressed about their haters will dedicate a whole video about how their haters are triggering them. I mean, this is the shit. It just makes it not fun, because he's just a hypocrite. He's just weak, and I'm bored. I don't even want to beef with this bitch. So, subliminals, that hoe have to say my name. He not gonna do that. So everything is gonna be fine in these YouTube streets, and the Armand Wiggins brand will continue to go on, and the Consciouztv brand will continue to go on. And you know, if he has any problems, then I hope that he just directs all of them like a grown-ass man, because he that nigga, and he can sit at the table. I can sit at the table, my nigga, with Joe Biden. I can sit with Charlamagne. I can sit with the best of them. So, you know, hopefully he'll be a man. He'll be a man. So you guys tell me what you guys think. I know you guys will. Comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You guys know that you can donate to the show at my Cash App, which is $Consciouztv, as well as my PayPal, which is paypal.me/ConsciouzTV, and or you can email me at consciouztv@gmail.com. Light and love and peace to the world, and light and love to Armand Wiggins and his following and his brand. I wish that young man much love and much more continued success. If he's happy, so am I. Goodbye.